Well, hello everybody, Todd here, Mark Legacy Acres. Hey, I'm really excited to share this video with you. I get a chance to share with you our dream. The wife and I own this 75 acres in Western Kentucky. And I say the wife and I own it, I consider it our whole family's. We named it Mark Legacy Acres for a reason. It's here when anybody wants to use it, wants to enjoy it. It's here when our friends want to enjoy it. Anything. Why own 75 acres if you can't share it with people? I do have notes. If you see me keep looking down, I wanted to catch a lot of this stuff and make sure that I was able to show everything to you. This is a property that was totally undeveloped. I shouldn't say totally. It had some trails on it. We did build the pole barn in the back. I'll show you that and explain what we're going to do with that to you a little bit. But we're looking to have this be our retirement homestead, and we give you a little background of who we are. I said the family enjoy it. We have one son, Wrigley, grandson Colton, and fantastic daughter-in-law Marissa, and that's the immediate family. And then obviously I got a brother, and my wife's got sisters, and we want everybody to be able to enjoy this property. So that's kind of who we are. The dog you'll see in the background, that's Whiskey, a brand new short-haired pointer that we got recently. So we want this, I want, more than Judy does, my wife Judy, our mother of my son, and I want it to be relatively self-sufficient and not total prepperish, but you know what? We got 75 acres. Let's make it so that if anything, heaven forbid, happens, we've got relatively self-sufficient place. I want it to be fun as well as functional. And why own a property like this if you can't have fun, right? I want it to be a place where I want to be. I want it to be a place where others want to be. I'm the kind of guy, I want to be outside almost nonstop, or in the pole barn working on stuff, on the tractor, on the side-by-side with the chainsaws. That's what this channel is about, and that's where I want to be. I've got a couple years left until retirement, but after that, man, it's going to be nonstop. And until then, we're coming down, spending very long weekends working on the property, and we absolutely love that. The reason I wanted to put this video together is because I enjoy watching other videos of what people are doing with their properties. And I hope that you enjoy watching how we transform this property and what we're going to do with it. I hope you enjoy the journey with us, not just for a bunch of views, but I hope you truly enjoy it. So with that, I'm going to start with the pole barn, and we're going to walk around the property. We're going to show you different things, what we're going to do with things, but let me share with you what I'm going to do with the pole barn first. All right, this is our 40 by 60 by 16 foot tall pole barn. We've got several videos on this, costs, the process we went through to build it, what we would do different, what we would do the same. This spring, we're going to bring electricity and water to it. Right now, it's just a shell, and it's been functional for us. Don't get me wrong. I've got lots of DeWalt tools with battery operated stuff. Let me show you inside real quick, because that's where most of the changes are going to be happening. See if I can get a view in here in the shade. There we go. I think you can see this. Anyway, we've been building this mezzanine. Our son and I, Wrigley and I, have been building this, and we did a large part of it this spring. We're going to finish it this fall, and at least the structure where we can get up there safely, railings, things along those lines. I will probably be building most of the rooms up there probably next spring, and we are going to have, on the left side is going to be sort of a living quarters, place we can hang out, couches, maybe a pull-out bed if I want to spend the night here when the house is being built, which we'll talk about later. and maybe a TV in there, certainly an office, so I can put the videos together and work on those when I'm out here on the property. We'll have high-speed internet, hopefully, once we get electricity. In the middle is going to be a room that's got lots of storage, built-in cabinets, a center island to be able to store stuff on and work on things. And then on that right side is going to be a big open area. That was our son's idea, and I was going to have it just another room, and he talked me into having an open area there, and I think that's a great idea. It'll have some built-in cabinets, maybe a small refreshment area, couches, a table, just a place to hang out. In the front will be a railing. The wife thinks that rebar sandwiched in some 2x4s from a video that she saw for railing will look really nice. We'll have the 6x6 posts, maybe 2x6s rather than 2x4s for the railings. We'll see how that all works out, but that'll look really nice. We'll also have it so it will open up so I can lift things with the tractor. The Kubota tractor you see here, we got an L2502. We got lots of implements for that. We still need to obviously put a railing going up the stairs. And then underneath, in that corner there, may or may not end up being a bathroom, probably eventually. And then the workbenches go in and all that kind of stuff, so we can actually work on things. 110 outlets everywhere, including drop down air. Underneath, I'm going to build in an area underneath these stairs. That's where the compressor is going to be, and I'm going to try to soundproof that the best I can with, again, drop down air going everywhere. We will have 220 available so that we can do some welding in here. I'm really not a welding guy, but I did it a little bit when I was in high school. I haven't done it since, so I'm gonna have to learn how to do all that kind of stuff, but that's part of the process, right? The water, we'll have water inside and outside, and we'll probably even have a shower outside. We got the zero turn over here to do the finish mowing. It has worked out really good. Sorry, it's a mess in here now until I get cabinets. But that's a rundown of things we plan on doing, and I think it's going to turn out really nice. I cannot tell you how excited I am to work on this pole barn. I love projects like this, and I really, really enjoy the process. I'll never be done tinkering with it, but it's something that I really enjoy working. Let me show you what we're going to do with the large expanse out front of the pole barn. All right, out here we've got, I would guess, a couple acres, but this is going to be our orchard. And we've got a couple trees planted over there. We've got a lot of deer. So doing the experiment, see if I can grow fruit trees here without cages, because I plan on like 100 fruit trees. And we're going to do all different kinds. Apples, peaches, nectarines, cherries, you name it, we're going to do it. Pawpaws. I've never had a pawpaw in my life, but apparently that's something that is grown in Kentucky, and I'm interested in trying it. Probably not in the orchard, but I'll also have nut trees around the property. Again, we want to make it as self-sufficient as possible, and I think this will be a fun, neat project. Don't know how big the orchard is going to be. Like I said, maybe 100 trees, maybe more, maybe less. Are we going to make it a business? Maybe a self-pick. Sell to local bakery that makes some really nice pies. Maybe do something like that. Or maybe we just have it for family and friends and it's just self-sufficiency. But anyway, the orchard's going to start going in the spring, and I'm really excited about it. I'm showing you this thing for one reason. It is ugly. I don't even know what kind of tree it is. We were working on it yesterday, getting the vines out from around it. Anyway, we've got a lot of trees that we need to thin out around the property, and that's just going to be part of the ongoing. If you've been watching our videos, we've been taking out trees that are a nuisance, while keeping productive trees that will be good for the property, and that is going to be an ongoing battle. On the front of the property, we've got a lot of stuff overgrown. We've put in a temporary gate slash fence here, but we've got a lot of things overgrown. The old fencing's all nasty, and we're just going to have to redo all this. So we're going to put in what's called a Kentucky fence. 3 or 4 slats running across wood posts. Here we're going to have it inset like it is, both sides of the property. I'll show you the other side, so that we can pull in with the trailer before we get to the gate. And then we plan on having cast iron steel gate, remote control, open up. Think Arms Family Homestead, Tony's Tractor Adventure, the gates they've got there. I assume you watch the same channels I watch if you're watching this channel. So we're planning on having something like that, and that's going to look really, really nice. We're really excited about it. One of the weekends we're out here, we're just going to have to rent a dumpster. We've already rented one, but people use this place as their own dump, it seems like. That's one of the negatives about this property, but a lot of videos I read, that seems to be anywhere if you buy a significant piece of property. But there's 3 places in particular that we're going to need the dumpster for. The first one, I doubt you can even see it. Maybe I can get a view in here. But in here, yeah, there we go. That's all stuff from roofing materials and stuff that I really don't want to burn. That's not cool. So that's area 1 of the 3 that we really need to do. Let me take you to area 2, because that's where the apiary is going to go. All right, this is where I plan on putting the apiary, my beehives, my honeybees. But look at all that junk. Isn't that nice? People just no respect. But anyway, it is what it is. So we'll get the tractor out, put the bucket on it, take loads to the dumpster, and get this all cleaned up. Then I'll get this all mowed down nice and neat, and hopefully this spring I'll have honeybees. I'm going to take you for a little bit of a walk if you'll stay with me a little bit, because between the first shot I gave you and this shot, there's all these woods here, and we've got a circle around them, but I want to take that all back. So I'm going to go back to the front. Won't make you take the whole walk with me, but I'll show you where we're going to clear that out, and then I'll show you my favorite place that I need to get rid of trash, because I've got a fun project coming. All right, this is that front portion where I showed you earlier. Right there is all the roofing materials, and I want to take all this. Our son cleared out all of this in the fall, and it looks so good. I want to take more back. I'll keep the oak trees and some of these big trees. This is the path I was starting to walk down, so I want to take all that out and make this open area even bigger. It should look really nice. Now let's go to my fun project. All right, we're behind the pole barn, heading down this little path, try to give you guys a little sense of bearing. And we've got another area where people are just dumping trash. We've been cleaning it up. It's actually much better than it was, but there was all kinds of junk. There's still quite a bit. And again, we'll get that all cleared up when we get the dumpster here. But again, I think the people that were in the trailer just put all their trash back here. And it's just, I mean, come on. I mean, there's no reason for that. And I don't need to move this for my next project, but I want to, because I don't want to go by this every time I come here. This is one of the biggest trees on the property. You can see somebody, or maybe you can't. Anyway, somebody used to have a stand here before, and I am going to build a tree house on this tree, in this tree. And so I'm gonna call it a tree house. It might serve for another purpose, because it looks over a nice draw that a lot of deer go across, and they go to the pond. This is the route. So yes, sometimes it'll be a treehouse, sometimes it'll be for other things that you two don't like me to talk about. But I think our grandson Colton will just love the treehouse up in this tree. And I'm not sure when I'm gonna get to it because there's so many other things I need to do first. But this is one of the projects I want to work on. Sort of a random comment here, but as I was walking by it, so that's the trash we were looking at, the trees down there. If you look down here, I don't know if you can tell, but this used to be a trail and it hasn't been maintained in a long time. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to take back all the trails. I'm going to make more trails. I love trails around a big property. What's the sense of owning 75 acres if you can't get to all corners of it? So I'm going to be working on a lot of trail work, and it's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be worth it. All right, we're back behind the pole barn. Why am I showing you the back of the pole barn? Well, there's a reason. You'll see I've got some of my implements out here, just sitting out in the elements, because I don't want everything cluttering up the pole barn, and more things are going to need to come out of the pole barn as I put things in. So back here, I plan on building a lean-to off from this building to store and get out of the elements a lot of my implements. So I think that'll be really nice. And the wife and I disagree on this, but as long as I'm building something off of here, why don't I make that a deck coming from the mezzanine on that corner? Have a door out there. I can come out on the second story deck, just enjoy nature. All this will be cleaned up because it'll be underneath the lean-to. I think that would be really cool, and that's a project I'm going to fight for. Welcome to our pond. This is one of the features that really drove us to buy this property. I just absolutely love this pond, but it comes with some work. This is the dam for the pond, and you see all these trees. Well, from what I've read, now I've never owned a pond in my life, these will eat away, the roots will eat into the dam and water will get through. Well, that would just make me sick if I lost all of this. So that's a big project, but we need to get rid of these. We've already started. We take down 1 or 2 or 3 every time we're here, and we're working on that project. Another project we've got that we're going to do is I need to get some structure in the pond. Now, it doesn't look like it right now because I got a little bit of an algae bloom. I need to work on that too, I guess. We loaded this thing with fish last spring. I wish I would have got a video of that because it was really cool. They brought the truck out and we brought buckets of fish down, and it was a lot of fun. But the bass are growing nice. I've got catfish in here. We've got bluegill. We've got all kinds of bait fish in here. So it's really, really doing well, even though you can't really tell it right now. But I want to get some more structure in there. So around the property, we've got all, well, I call them rocks, but they're not. They're concrete that people have dumped off. They didn't know where else to dump it, so they dumped it around the property. So I'm going to build some piles out there for some structure. And as I'm taking these trees, I'm going to deliberately lay some of these trees down into the pond to give the fish some structure. Now, I'm kind of skipping ahead. This is not for a few years, but this pond is built by damming up. It was a natural valley down in here, and they just dammed it up and created a pond. Well, that continues to this side, except it's deeper. So if I go in there, I lay a bunch of these trees down. I don't need to take the stumps out because that'll be good structure for the fish. I can build myself a second pond, which really excites me. I really want to do that project, but it's a long ways down on the priority list. Hopefully you're still with us and I'm still doing this stuff when we do that. But the thing I do want to get done sooner rather than later, and maybe this year, maybe early next year, but soon, is right down here is the overflow for the pond. And what I want to do is, instead of just a natural overflow, I want to put a culvert in here and build this up so that I can take tractors and side-by-sides right up this hill on the other side, and we'll be able to get from one side to the other without going all the way to the back of the property or to the front with the road. And the last thing, which is really kind of the first thing, is we have been, if you've been watching any of the videos, working on clearing the view of the pond from the other side. I'm going to take you up there and show you from up there. But up on that hill is where the home site's going to be. So let's head over to that side of the property so I can show you what I'm talking about. All right, we're taking you out from where we just were to the other side of the property where we call the home site. And we've got second entrance over here. And this is going to be our driveway into our cabin. And we can come up in here. Obviously, I'm going to need to strip away the topsoil and get this all gravelled up. So that's going to be a fun project. I'd say that rhetorically, not rhetorically, but in jest. That's not going to be fun at all. Back in here, let me get you off from the Ranger for a second. So when we build the house, I'm going to need an area to store all of the materials. So all of this is going to have to come out and look like that. So they're not overly big trees. It should be a fairly simple project. But I've started working on this and getting that all because it's probably going to, I don't know how many truckloads it takes to build a house, but they need some place to store everything. So we've got that, and then I'm going to take you on up the rest of the way to the home site. All right, we're back in the Ranger so that you don't lose your bearings too much. You can see we got cameras on a lot of areas of the property as we're not here all the time. Those are cellular cameras, and they come right to our cell phone, all the pictures, and we get alerts, and we can talk to people, we can pan, zoom, all that kind of stuff. Luckily, most of it has been wildlife. But we are now where we call the home site, and we're back on the other side where I showed you all that stuff that was being cleared. We're going to build our house up here overlooking that pond. And so we've started clearing all this. This here, that's all wooded, this looked like that. So we're going to work on this, get this all cleared out so that we can have our house overlooking the pond. We'll keep a couple majestic trees, but for the most part, this is going to be all grass, paths, gazebo down there, stuff like that. So our house is going to, and I don't know if you can tell how much that drops. That drops probably 20 feet. So up here will be the main level of the house, and then we'll have a walkout basement. And think Evan and Becca's house in Country View Acres. So we're going to plan on doing something like that. We love the way their house opens up to the pond, and we're going to try to mimic something like that. So if you check out their place, that's what we're visualized doing, and we can't wait to get that started. And I know all this is going to have to be excavated anyway, but I want to do some of the work myself, take a little pride in what I'm doing, and I'm really looking forward to breaking ground and building the house and having a series on that so you guys can see as it's coming along, and it should be a lot of fun. As we're leaving the pond, coming down here, there's a lower area, and there's an opening. I had to clean a tree up from our paths down here, trails, but this will be our garden area. And nice short walk from the house, so it's not daunting to take care of it. It's all going to be raised beds. I've never done raised beds in my life. I've always just done it in the soil. But look, folks, I'm 60 years old. It's getting harder to bend over and weed. And so we're going to do raised bed gardens back here, and that should be really nice. And then that is the trail towards, one of the trails back towards the back of the property. So this will be a garden area, and I'm really looking forward to getting that going when we're here full time, and make it easy, and probably put a lot of perennials in there so I don't have to replant things every year, but lots of tomatoes and peppers and things along those lines also. So that is the garden area. All right, so So I just started taking a little ranger ride down one of the trails, and I wanted to show you this. This is a problem. So the trails go on over there. I can't get tractors or even side-by-sides through here. You can see there used to be a metal culvert here. I don't even know how I get that out to put another culvert in here. Maybe that's the easiest way to do this, but what I think I'm going to do, I am going to build a bridge over this, so that will be fun. And now I'm going to take a hike through the woods, and I'm going to show you one of my other, well, one of my many favorite properties, and I'm getting cobwebs on me. That happens a lot out here. You'll see that in another video, but I'm going to take a walk in the woods and show you well, I'm calling it a secret area because my wife hasn't even seen it yet because it's such a trek through the woods. All right, I'm gonna laugh at myself here. I just found a trail on our property that I didn't know existed. I'm telling you, I didn't know it was here. I had come to an area up there before, but anyway, somewhere back in here, there's ponds that go, or ponds, there's creeks go down there and merge together. And when it rains, you got nice little creeks coming through there, and it's really cool. So I think somewhere up in here, and more clearing up here than I was expecting, I'm going to put a rustic camp. What's a rustic camp, you ask me? I'm not even sure yet. Just an area to get away from the house and the pole barn, a fire pit, maybe a crude cabin, certainly some split logs, just a nice fun area to be. Maybe another treehouse. So this is an area of our property that I'm looking to do something with. I just haven't figured out exactly what. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed putting it together for you. I've enjoyed sharing with you some of the projects that we're going to work on, and there's a lot more than what we named. One of the things we've found is owning a property like this, what we think we're going to work on when we're driving down here usually isn't what we're working on. We thought we were going to mow paths, and we end up spending a half a day cutting a tree that had fallen across the path, and so we'll have to mow the path next time. But that's the way it is, and those are fun things, and they should be looked at as fun things. So I hope you come along with us. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button, hit that bell, hit the like, all that good stuff. And please join us, and remember, it's okay to get dirty.